Your father was the fastest gun in the West. There's no telling how many evil men he put down. His appetite for killing was something special. Then you were born. He hid his gun away and put that life behind him. Made you swear you'd never follow in his footsteps. He was on the straight and narrow. Problem is, crooked men have a way of knocking folks off the straight and narrow. They came and lit your old man up right in front of you. Then they nearly tore the house down looking for something. They left the money, left the food, left you. But you knew what they were looking for, and you were gonna give it to them. There he was. Remember what you practiced: holster, bell, tombstone. Flames rose from the gun. One down, two to go. Your palms were sweating, but the gun in your hand was ice cold. 2 for 2. Nothing could stop you now. He was the ringleader. You took it slowly. One duel, one round, one bullet at a time. The end. The smell of blood and gunpowder burned your nose. You had avenged your father, but you felt like a spent shell. Was this your life's purpose? That's when the man in the dirt reached out to you. One last card up his sleeve? No. A letter. It said, "That gun in your hand is called cold iron. It's possessed by a spirit whose thirst for blood can never be quenched. Your father was chosen to destroy it, but he failed. Now you gotta do what your father couldn't. But you can't do it alone. Follow the guiding stars. Yours truly, the gunsmith." Yeah, that's me. Right under my signature was something like a constellation. You traced it with your finger and watched the world melt around you. When you opened your eyes, you were in another place. What if you were lost forever? Cold iron. It seemed like nothing could stand in your way. Looked like a storm was coming. The light that burns twice as bright lasts half as long. You thought this one was human until you got close. You wouldn't make that mistake again. Was it over? You stood over the wizard and fired a few rounds into his chest for good measure. You wondered if this was hell, but the only devil here was strapped to your hip. You searched the body and found a scroll. It wasn't written in any language you'd seen before, but you knew well enough what it meant. One step closer. You touched the star map and watched the world melt around you. You didn't spot her until she was right in front of you, but she saw you coming from a mile away, a sign of things to come. It didn't matter if she was 2 feet in front of you or on the moon. Cold iron did the killing. You just pointed the way. You were staring down a man with metal skin, but somehow you knew cold iron would take him down just the same. Lights out. You stood in the shadow of a monster, plain and simple. Thing was, you had a monster on your side too. Your blood ran as cold as the gun in your hand. Could anything stop it? Could you? Metal men, rolling fortresses, and great glass towers that stretched into the sky. You shuddered to think what evil sorcerers created a world like this. You could almost feel Cold Iron's heart beating in your hand. The demon grew stronger with every kill. You tried smashing it, burning it, burying it. But the gun always found its way back to you. It was starting to feel like you were the horse, and the gun was the rider. You searched the behemoth for another star map. This time, it was etched into the monster's metal skin. You touched it, and watched the world melt around you. This world was different. It was dead. You walked for days with nothing inside, until... You were too tired to think about where you should be going. Didn't matter. Seemed like the horse knew. And that's when you made the worst mistake of your life. When did you figure it out? I welcomed you into the saloon. I poured you a drink and threw my arms around you. Hell of a story. Can't believe you made it. But you just stood there, quiet as a church mouse. All right then, hero, your work here is done. Give me the gun and we could put an end to all this. But you knew. Somehow, you just knew. You were just like your father. He was your age when he first came here. Took a real liking to me. I liked him too. I could smell the death on him. Your species' capacity for evil was like nothing I'd ever seen. So I let him hold Cold Iron as long as he was willing to feed it. It made him unstoppable. Until you stopped him. I begged him to keep fighting. I'm a father too, you know. Cold Iron was my baby, and it was starving. But he was so damn stubborn. That's when I sent those 3 outlaws to plug him and get the gun back. We meet at last. It's the dawning of a new era. My little baby's all grown up and doesn't need to stay trapped in that gun any longer. Behold, the power that transcends worlds. You think you've won, but you're wrong. This is my world now. They're all mine. Surrender to the darkness. Give up. Just like your father. Daddy's gone. Your old man didn't know when to give up either. Impossible. Your soul belongs to me. Who's doing this?